Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Hi, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. So before we start today, I want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel and for the absolutely amazing support on my last video. It was almost a month ago and I just stopped posting because I was on vacation and then, my boyfriend went abroad and I just, I haven't had the mental or energy capacity to be in front of a camera, although I'm not really in front of a camera, but you know what I mean. And I've just been working my ass off. I'm taking care of the house. It has been a journey, let's just say that. And and also I want to give a very, very, very special thank you to the people that have purchased, I don't know what that is, but I want to give a very, very special thank you for the people that have purchased my extended readings. It has helped me a ton and I know who you guys are. And I read all of the comments. I have been reading them actually every time that they come through. And it has been really, really good to be here. And I'm just very grateful for you guys. So here we are today again with another reading on their sexiness, I would say. So today we're going to be reading about their first night with you, if that ever happens, or how they imagined it, or how it's going to be, you know what I mean? If you're about to get into their business soon, what can you expect? You know what I mean? We're also going to be having an extended, and we're going to be talking about what do they like in bed, you know what I mean? What can you do that it's going to make them like it even more, you know what I mean? Like to spice it up a little bit. So that's what's going on today. And also an advice, how would they feel emotionally if this ever happened? Would it intensify your connection? What was going on? What's going on? What is going to happen? You know what I mean? So yeah, this is what we have today. We have 3 groups as usual. On the left, we have the Page of Pentacles, I do believe, okay? And this deck is kind of hard to set aside which one is it, but I believe that's the Page of Pentacles, but correct me if I'm wrong. In the middle, that's group number 2, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and on the right, we have the Tower. Feel free to pick and choose. You can, if your intuition is a little off today or you're tired, you can go on a random number generator between 1 and 3 and then bam, you know what I mean? You can just select like that, you know what I mean? Or you can just close your eyes and feel it, or if you see a card or something like that, you know what I mean? Sometimes I speak from experience and this actually works for me. So if you want to try something different, you can close your eyes, and if you're on a computer, you can hover your mouse over the cards, you know what I mean? And whenever you feel like stopping is stopping, then you open your eyes and you see where it lands. Also, the random number generator is a good thing. It's a good tool to use. Or you can look at the numbers of the timestamps if something calls your name, you know what I mean? So yeah. Or the colors in the cards, the positions, the art, I would say. Yeah, you can just, whatever feels right for you, you can pick it, So feel free to pause the video if you would like, and I will see you in, the timestamps and in your reading. Hello, group number 1. Thank you so much for watching and choosing your pile. So let's talk about the card that you chose. It's the Page of Pentacles, and I feel like this describes a partner who is curious about new techniques and positions and is willing to experiment because they're a page. They're always willing to learn. They're very open to new things, and I feel like your person loves to educate themselves, read about sex, watch erotic movies. They can also read up online about new positions, or they can actually read erotic books or spicy books, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be erotic, but it could be like, the details, you know what I mean? And I also sense that they may have a lot of theoretical knowledge, and they could look for opportunities to test it in practice. So your person may want to experience with you on your first night. They could love to be praised and appreciated, and they also hate critics, okay? Because they're a page, they're learning, they're gonna make mistakes along the way, and they may do something that could hurt you physically, of course. So they want to, be guided instead of criticized. Sex with a page could be very, very long, where you are testing new techniques and positions. So it could mean that their first night with you could be very, very long, while testing positions, what feels right, what doesn't feel right, what is better, what goes in smoothly, you know what I mean? Together, you can polish your skills, and they are very eager to win new ones, you know what I mean? Like, they're very open to that. There could not be a lot of feelings here, because of him being a page, and it is purely a physical experience without much emotions, if any at all. It could also be in school or training places, at the gym, delegations, integration events, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be in a room, at least based on the card that you picked. So based on my gifts, I'm a clairvoyant, a clairaudient, and a clairsentient. I see feeling here. Okay, so based on the cards that are on the table, I can sense that it's just something very magical. They're, just coming back home or something like that. You could be doing something, and then it's just basically what I'm feeling and seeing is that you come back home, or you go to their house or something like that. It's in the middle of the night because of the moon. And he's just, what is it called? He just praises you, and there's just so many intense looks, intense kind of like you are in a mood, you know what I mean? You want it, both of you want it, and there's just this chemistry, and he basically, praises you. Yours looks so beautiful. He caresses your cheek maybe, and you're just in a mood, and then you go upstairs or you go to their room, you know what I mean? It doesn't, it's just this sweet, kind of innocent, kind of, it's our first night, you know what I mean? I want to make it special, but also go wild, you know what I mean? So based on our first card, which is the Page of Swords, the first night would be your person could use vulgar words during sex. I would say, who's in charge, or you're a bitch, or who the fuck do you think you are? You know what I mean? And basically criticizing you. There's a sense of comparison as well, comparing you to other people or to their ex or something like that, because perhaps they don't have a lot of practical experience, and perhaps you're his friend or person that he has sex with, or because he didn't really, or they didn't really have much experience with others. So they may compare you, or because of that lack of experience, you know what I mean? again, without much emotions, but there is a willingness to experiment. Once again, there's 2 pages over there to test new techniques and positions, and foreplay with vulgar words like "you're a bitch," "the fuck is in charge," "come over here, you stupid asshole." I don't know. You know what I mean? Whatever fits the box, basically. And it just seems like when things get intense, because there's a feeling of calmness or sensitivity in the beginning, like before you get into it, but then once you're into it and things are intense and it just all over the place, that's what happens, you know what I mean? So then we have the Queen of Swords, and once again, without deeper emotions, without much passion, it's quite cold sexual act in classical positions, but once again, because of the page, there's a willingness to learn and to try out new things. And because it's a queen in the swords, it's all about communication and thoughts and the mind. Because it's a queen, there's a lot of moans and screams. It seems like because it's so physical, it could be very intense. It also shows a lot of talking during the sexual acts. And because of the page, once again, because of the vulgar words and the vulgar phrases that they could use, there's a lot of talking, basically, and explaining to you what you should do, basically, because of his knowledge, theoretical knowledge, and because they really, really want to try new things. They are very vocal about what they want, basically. Then we have the moon, and this is why I say it could be in the middle of the night or something like that. You coming over or after a party or something like that. You know what I mean? But it may not reflect on the reality, okay? It could just be, something that could happen. And the moon is all about long foreplay because it's the moon. It has its phases and it takes time to go through them. So long foreplay, sometimes harmless deviations and fetishes, because once again we have the page and there's not a lot of knowledge or practice. I would say there's a desire to fulfill fantasies just like the page, but however often there is no courage to do it. Maybe your person doesn't have the right sexual partner, or they didn't really have the first time, or they really only had one partner or two and they're not really experienced, so they're a little bit hesitant, or there's no courage to do it. They just have the knowledge and that's it. As it is a card of hesitation, indecision, and secrets, it's kind of like they hide a lot. Perhaps they don't show their body, or they like to do it in the dark or something like that. And I also see that they like curves, okay? They may like curvy women or curvy partners where they can grab them, you know what I mean? It's just a little spice up there. Although there's a lot of passion, I wouldn't say passion, but because it's so physical and mentally stimulating, I guess. And because I saw, like, in the beginning, you just came back from a party or you're just hanging out or something like that, and then there's just that moment where you know that they want to, and then it ends up happening. And there's that sense of there's not a lot of emotions involved in the midst of everything. I feel like by the end, the High Priestess is a person that is shy, and oftentimes that's why I said they could be ashamed of their body, or they could have low self-esteem, because the High Priestess is someone in this case that is ashamed of their body, or ashamed to come out with the initiative, even though they have a lot of knowledge. Although they have a lot of knowledge about sex, they are afraid to initiate an experience. They have complexes when it comes to either sex or their body, and only the right partner can awake passion and free the beast. So if this card resonates with you, you have to take that initiative. Otherwise, they may not do it. I feel like they're a person that doesn't have, like I said, I'm not gonna repeat myself. But I feel like by the end of your night with them, they're gonna be connected with their feelings, and it's gonna start being very important to them. And you can expect, if you do it again with this person, you can expect spirituality involved, the unity of souls. It's very cliche, but because of the High Priestess, it's who guards the door to the other side, to the spirit realm, I would say, or to the spirituality, I would say. They hold the knowledge and they hold the door. So it seems like if you do it again, or by the end of it, it's just, I wouldn't say passionate, but at least respectful and calmer. You know what I mean? There seems to be mixed messages here. So do please take that into consideration and take it as a grain of salt, because there's a sense of doing it without any emotions. And then by the end, there's connection. But also, this could be like one of their fetishes, or this could be for somebody else in this group, okay? The Five of Swords is a person that cares a lot about pleasure. They could be jealous, and it could be hard for them to control their jealousy. They can be aggressive or possessive. They like it brutal, okay? BDSM and gadgets, handcuffs, you know what I mean? Like gags, I would say. The first night with this person would be wild as fuck. Whips, role-playing as a master or servant, or as someone that is in charge, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, I wouldn't say strangling you, but yeah, strangling you and saying, who the fuck is in charge now, bitch? You know what I mean? There's not a lot of deep feelings and emotions in this, but there's only a need to satisfy their fetishes and preferences. Passion, you know what I mean? It's mental stimulation. And not a lot of emotions, unless it's just kind of like by the end, you know? That's when they connect with their emotions. It's after they get the pleasure out of the moment, I would say. Alrighty, you guys. So this was it for the free parts of the reading. It's not very long, but hopefully it was worth it. And if you guys are hungry for more, and if you'd like to see what do they like in bed and how would they feel after their first night with you, stay tuned for the extended version. The link will be in the description. It's $5.55, and you get the video. You can download it or you can watch it directly on your browser, and it directly helps and supports me and the channel, so I can be here and do this for free for you guys on YouTube. And if you'd like to support me an extra, you can purchase the extended version. If you would like to support for free, that's also an option. You can share this video with your friends. If you would like to see their juicy crush or something like that, who they're interested in. And you can also give this video a big like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below as well. I read everything, and I will see you guys in the next reading or in the next video. Bye! Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Ten of Pentacles, this is your reading. So let's talk about your first night with your person. As I'm looking at this card, it just feels like the first night with this person. I'm sorry if you can hear the wind. The windows are wide open and there's big sunshine coming in, it seems like, but let's talk about it. So with the Ten of Pentacles, as I'm looking at this card, it just feels right. It just feels seductive. It feels like there is, there's gentleness, you know what I mean? Like the pentacles are very earthy material, sorry, but you know what I mean? It's very gentle. At least that's what the card is telling me, you know? It's very gentle, very harmonious. It's kind of like you have the same visions of what sex feels like. What I'm seeing in this card is basically a person that does it very gentle, and there's a lot of emotions involved. Perhaps you just started dating and you're just waiting for the right time, or just wondering how the first night, would be with this person. Or you could even not be dating, you know what I mean? But just wondering out of curiosity how it would be. But there's a feeling of you guys go out and it's full of emotions. It's full of gentleness, you know what I mean? So it seems like your person has a very big appetite for sex. They have very big sexual needs, and they could have a fiery temperament, as in they get very riled up. I'm hearing an Aries or Scorpio or something like that. Even though Scorpios, sometimes they get very emotional, at least from my experience, but they also are very stingy. So perhaps an Aries, Capricorn, that's what I'm hearing as well, or Scorpio. They care about your pleasure. They would care about your pleasure, and they will try their hardest until the very end to satisfy you with all their strength. If you're someone that takes a lot of time to finish, or if you're aware that it would take some time, but I'm sensing that some of you are very inexperienced, or you perhaps are still a virgin. This is at least what I'm sensing when it comes to your energy, okay? I don't mean to offend anybody, but what I'm sensing is basically that perhaps both of you are virgins, or one of you is a virgin, and it's just kind of like they want to give you that sort of experience, basically. Or you've had some sort of bad experience when it comes to sex, and they want to provide that for you. Security, that's what I'm hearing too. It seems like you could go out on a date with the Ten of Pentacles, and you could use food as foreplay. For instance, you could play with your food. You can eat aphrodisiacs, just such as strawberry with cream or something like that, and you lick it or you eat it as you're eating or sucking or licking a part of their body. And also I'm seeing like a finger. They could also perhaps like taste something off of your finger, or eat something off of your finger and then tease you about it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'm sensing as well with this card. And like I said, I also sense a very gentle and emotional sex, like with a lot of emotions, a lot of love. It definitely has a feeling of you just started dating, perhaps the majority of you, this is the case, or you are about to start dating and this is the time, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's basically what I'm sensing, is that there's dinner or a meal at least involved. Once again, with knights and pages, knights are very fast forward. Okay, there's very fast movement. So with the knight, It's a little bit contradictive because the Ten of Pentacles is a card of a lot of emotions, and Knights, especially of Swords, they don't hold a lot of emotions, and they quickly take initiatives, and sometimes they're a little bit violent because they're so brave and quick in doing things, you know what I mean? And they perhaps do not think too much, and they just act. So it's a little bit contradictory, but it seems like what I'm sensing is basically, you know, the date, you know what I mean? Because as you look at that card, it's basically a knight with their horse. Like, I'm here to take you out. Let's go out. You know what I mean? That's basically what I'm getting from that card, because it's contradictory what's usually I get from the Knight of Swords when it comes to relationships or sex even. But perhaps sex with this person in your first night would be indeed a little fast. It would go by fast, even with the food and the date, you know what I mean? So, I also sense intense and hot sex with the Three of Wands. And it could be like in an unusual place. Perhaps, you go on a picnic, or it's in the middle of the forest, or, it's just kind of like in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? It's in an unusual place with this card, but it also could point out in a love triangle. We have a lot of threes in this spread for you guys. Perhaps there's indeed a third party involved. Either you are dating or they are dating, and there's just kind of like they're interested in you, or vice versa. But definitely it seems like, you know, there could be a third party involved. So I also see oral sex, a 69 position, anal sex, a lot of experimenting as well. If you're not into anal, that's totally fine. You could experience with this person. Again, like, I'm seeing a meadow, or kind of like you're camping, or you're having a picnic outside on a holiday, you know what I mean? It's peaceful, like you're on vacation, you know what I mean? But it just seems like it's not in an usual room. I don't see a room at all. I see like in the middle of nowhere. So with the Three of Cups, this is a card of fun, a card of laughter, joy, friendship, jokes. So sex with this person would also be a lot of fun. You know, it's not just a lot of emotions and just being in the moment, but also with lots of laughter, jokes, like very cheerful and joyful sex, actually. Like, you could be, you know, what I'm seeing is like a movie scene where two young people are just young and in love, and it's just like this, I wouldn't say fairy tale, but just very out of a movie scene, kind of, you know? And you could also be playing strip poker, or kind of like the, perhaps strip poker, or you could just kind of like get into, games with alcohol, and that could be like the introduction, you know what I mean? And then you end up doing it. It could just be like, I wouldn't say casual, but you could not be planning something like that, you know what I mean? And it just ends up happening. Like I did say, like dinner, you're playing with food, and then it's just a lot of fun with the Three of Cups. Like, you cannot escape it. And once again, because of the three, this is also a card of love triangles. And again, this person could be with somebody, or you could be with somebody, or there's just kind of like this love triangle kind of thing. If this doesn't resonate, please don't try to make it fit into your situation. Yeah, and it just seems like your person likes to have fun, and they're very charming, and they like to flirt, and they may not be the type of monogamism or to be monogamous. And yeah, it's just kind of like a lot of fun, really. I would say like your first night with this person would just be fun and memorable, actually. And then we have the Four of Cups, a tricky card because it goes a little bit against of what we already saw. The Four of Cups is not having the desire for that kind of activity, and being exhausted or discouraged about this topic. And it could indicate depression, all kinds of reluctance to touch, no desire for sex. So you or this person could be an asexual, like you don't need sexual or touch, sex or touch to be emotionally involved with somebody. So this could be like a thing for some of you, or this person could be too much on their mind. But it just seems like because of all the fun, the dinner, so on and so forth, I would say that this person doesn't need sex to bond with somebody or to bond with you, because you already have such a good chemistry or such a good, such a good connection that, your first night would be, nothing. I wouldn't say nothing because, you're here for a reason, but this person could be that type of person, you know what I mean? Or for some of you, this person could have had some sort of bad experiences with other people, and now due to their trauma, they are discouraged about it, okay? That's basically what I'm sensing. Perhaps this is a warning, or perhaps this is just a message for another person that is out there, wondering how would it be. And perhaps your message is that this person perhaps sees sex as something that is reluctant or gross, or they don't have they don't see it the way that you perhaps see it, or the way that the world sees it. You know what I mean? They could all perhaps be that type of person. And there's no judgment, we're not here to judge. It's, this is a person, you know what I mean? It's their choice or something that they identify with. So perhaps that is your answer. Nothing would really happen because this is your person, And I must tell you guys that there's a lot of cups in this spread for you. So this could mean that you have a very deep emotional connection, or your connection is really good emotionally. Like you're very invested, and this person really feels for you. Like they really, really like you. Like there's a lot of emotion and intuition in this. I would say with your last card though, with the Nine of Cups, one of you would be receiving oral sex while one of you are masturbating. Because the Nine of Cups, because it's water and there's water in your mouth, and the Nine of Cups is all about independence, emotional independence, basically. Perhaps this is your case, okay, for some of you. And once again, there's two cards that are contradictory when it comes to the rest. So the Nine of Cups is a person that likes sex or loves sex, and they're always willing to come out with the initiative, and they will tempt you and persuade you. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a selfish card, so do not count this as a commitment, because they may expect you to fulfill all their desires. But once again, like, this is just a general reading. Like, a lot of people are going to question, so I'm just gonna say it as it is. This is a very selfish card, and they perhaps want you to fulfill their desires and not fulfilling yours, okay? Generally, it's just kind of like, there's three types of people in this reading. One is a person that has a lot of feelings, is a little bit older, and it's just very emotionally pure. There's food, there's a date, and you guys end up doing it in a tent or on a picnic, and there's a lot of fun in that. There's a fun element. It's joyful, and you just giggle and laugh. You know what I mean? There's drinks. There's all sorts of things to make it a fun experience. There's also another type of person where they could be asexual, and they do not have any desire to have a sexual experience with you, because either trauma, or it's just their choice, or that's what they identify with. You know what I mean? And they're very reluctant to do that. And then there's another type of person where they're very self-centered and selfish, where they want to do it fast. They want to just, make it quick and only satisfy themselves and not really look at your desires. There's 3 different types of people, and it's really up to you to really take what fits to your person. You know them better than I do, and this is just what I'm being told, what I'm channeling, basically. So there's going to be an extended for your pile. The extended is all about their wishes, or what do they like in bed, basically, your person. And also, if this first night actually happens, how would they feel about you? How would it impact your relationship? Okay? So thank you guys so much for watching this far. Let me know in the comments how this resonated with you, if it did. And if you'd like to support me directly, you can purchase the extended. It's $5.55. That's US dollars. And if not, and if you also would like to contribute in some way, shape, or form, you can subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, you can give this video a big thumbs up, and also comment down below which, if this resonated, and, if you want to share something. Other than that, I have nothing else to add to this amazing reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. I hope you are doing well. So let's talk about your first night with your person. You chose the Tower, and the Tower usually represents rapid and simple sex, which quickly gives satisfaction and relaxation. So it seems like the first night with your person, perhaps it would be very satisfactory and relaxing. Perhaps you would be discovering shocking aspects of your person's sexuality or your own sexuality. And perhaps your person is from the military, or was in the military, or you've been in the military. There's an aspect of military in the Tower. So now let's talk about your first card. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So with the Ace of Pentacles, it often shows pregnancy, or sex to conceive a child, or planning a child in positions where you completely give yourself to them, or vice versa. If the woman completely gives herself to the man. If you are a man, or you identify yourself as a man, then your person would like to completely give themselves to you. But if you identify yourself as a woman, or a more gentle person, a more gentle energy, then your person would definitely love you to give yourself completely to them. Now, if you don't identify as man or woman, then based on the cards that we have on the table, it seems like they would want to mainly, they would want you to give yourself completely to them based on the cards that we have on the table. Now, it doesn't seem like it's full of passion, at least from just based on the Ace of Pentacles. It's not full of passion. It's simple, classic sex, mainly to conceive a child. So I also sense that this person would like to finish inside of you if they have the genitalia to do so. Perhaps very practical, not counting on a lot of romanticism or passion on their part. But it seems like the Ace of Pentacles also talks about a good person, that feelings are important to them and that take care of their partner. So it seems like even if there's not a lot of romanticism or passion, they do care about you and your well-being, and they would take care of your pleasure, basically. Also, it seems like the first time or the first night with your person would be very unexpected in sudden sex. Perhaps there would be a moment where you guys would be looking at each other, or it's just kind of like that moment of silence where one of you would be jumping off of the floor or jumping onto their arms and just kind of like kiss, and very unexpected. It seems like you want to do it, let's do it, you know what I mean? I don't sense any kind of words spoken before that moment. It's just kind of like that moment of silence where you just want to do it and then you do it, you know what I mean? And there would be satisfaction on both parties, okay? It wouldn't be just them or you having the pleasure. It would be the both of you. Also, I sense a very sexual, not sexual, but like sexy, sensuality with music. Perhaps near water or somewhere near it, or just in the morning after waking up. But basically, it would the main theme would be that moment of silence where you just do it. You know what I mean? Your person is a very sensual lover that stimulates all senses and arouses fantasies, okay? They like to have control, but you can expect an orgasm with them. They really care about the pleasure of their partner, so you can definitely expect to finish with them, okay? Then it also shows with the World, the card in the middle, that is a long, a very successful sex, the one that unites you. So you may be in a relationship, or you may kind of like, or you may not be in a relationship, but the fact that they want to finish inside, or they want to conceive a child, it means just kind of like perhaps you're in a long distance relationship. It definitely seems like you guys have been in this relationship for quite some time, or you guys are in long distance, because we see a lot of physical distance in all of the cards, except for the last one where they're very close to one another with the Nine of Wands. But it definitely seems like you either have some physical distance or you haven't had that sort of opportunity yet. It seems like the first night with this person, it would definitely unite you and make your feelings stronger. And it seems like you would be trying new exotic sexual positions, something you have not tried yet. It seems like it wouldn't be both of your first times, okay? You have some kind of experience, but you want to try something new with this person. They're very open to new experiences, just so you know. They're very curious and willing to experiment with you. The World can mean that your partner is from another country or with another religious denomination. So it definitely seems like there's physical distance in the middle of this, where you are in a long distance relationship, and you are perhaps going on a trip together, or this person is coming to visit you, or vice versa, and there's sex on that vacation during some trip, okay? Thus, your person is perhaps addicted to, or you would be doing multiple times with their person. And perhaps you would be even recording, because if you're in a long distance relationship, you want to have something to entertain yourselves while you're away from one another. So it could mean with the Seven of Cups that you would be recording some of your adventures, I would say, and you would be keeping that to yourselves and use it later on. Because they want to do it multiple times, and they want to remember. They want to remember all the things that you've done for to use later. No restrictions on the recordings and also on the sex. No restrictions. It seems like they can have a huge imagination, so you could be doing something homemade. Could be just a fetish. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are going to record, but it could just mean that there's a fetish in there that they want to try with you and then use later on. And you best bet that you wouldn't be bored with this person, at least sexually, because they have a very big imagination. They will definitely take that initiative, and they will want to implement all of their wildest fantasies with you. So you best prepare that body of yours. Not kidding. If you've had that first night, it would be very intense and without limits, I must tell you. There's a huge desire, which is difficult to satisfy all in one go. Therefore, that's why I said that you would be doing multiple times. It wouldn't just be one and you're done. It's hard. All right. So now on to our last card. We have the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands in this case could be one of your fears or one of their fears, because the Nine of Wands usually talks about, someone not taking initiative, and the other person having to act. This could represent you, as you could have had some kind of negative experience when it comes to sex when you were younger, and this person, having to take that initiative and you not taking it. And this card also tells us about a huge dislike for sex and somebody else having to change your perspective or their perspective on the subject. The Nine of Wands also talks about harassment. So if you have been a victim of harassment or other types of bad experiences, I won't name anything. This could be your case. This could be representing you rather than your person. And if there is any sort of sex with the Nine of Wands, often it is sex with guilt and fear, sometimes with a great fear of unwanted pregnancy. This could represent, once again, trauma or some sort of bad experience when it comes to it. And this could represent you, because we've seen that this person will take initiative and this person likes it very much. And it seems like, I feel like this card describes you once again, and it seems like you're very careful in matters of sex. You were hurt. Somebody broke your heart, and you're now afraid to trust. You also hide your feelings from fear, and you also tend to isolate yourself. But you covet them in secret, like you want them in secret. So it definitely seems like this could be your experience, and you're just kind of like a little bit closed off rather than this person being closed off. This person feels like very open to it, and it seems like they may or may not know your situation, and they have empathy and they want to respect you. It's just that to take in mind. It seems very gentle and respectful, but also seems a little harsh, So this is what we have for this video. We are doing an extended. It's $5.55 US dollars. The link will be down in the description. And yeah, if you would like to support for free, you can indeed give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below how this resonates with you, and if you'd like to support me an extra amount, you can definitely purchase your extended. We're gonna be looking at what does your person actually like in bed. So if you have this first night with them, you can make sure that they enjoy it, and also how would they feel about you after that first time, that first night, and how would your relationship change, if anything at all. So this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching this far, and if you're hungry for more, the link is in the description as usual. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.